So hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Benz Revival series. Today we're in my W202. It's a beautiful hot day in Nairobi. It's supposed to be the rainy season, but when we get some hot weather, gotta get out and shoot a video. So today I'm gonna take you through the 5 things I love most about this W202 C-Class. Enjoy. So we've got a beautiful parking today. Decided to keep the Benz like that, but this is my W202. You guys know this. You've been following the Benz Revival series. And we'll start off real quick with the 5 things I love most on this vehicle. And number 1 has got to be the headlights. These are still classic glass headlights. So you don't have plastic like you see so much in today's day. You know, these have just stood the test of time. 25 years later, look at the quality of those glass headlights. Nothing has been done to them, and still original quality. None of that faded plastic that you see in today's age. So there are those headlights. Turn them on and it's a good look. I will say they aren't the brightest of headlights, so when you're driving at night it isn't that great, you know, you can't see that much. But I love the fact that they're glass. They just look fantastic. Alright, the second thing I'm a big fan of is actually the ground clearance of this vehicle. You can see, I mean, I've gotten into this muddy area over here, but the Benz handles it really well. You can see this is some off-road terrain, but the way they used to make these 202s is they actually gave the vehicle good ground clearance, you know, and for a country like Kenya it is very useful. Allows you to really use the car, enjoy the car, and go to places you know you wouldn't usually. Swiftly moving on to number 3, and number 3 is actually the presence of the vehicle and the length of the vehicle. It's got a good size to it, this vehicle. I believe the present day C-Class, the W204 I believe is a similar size, but I like the length of this vehicle. You know, it's a beautiful saloon car. You got the huge hood or the huge bonnet in front, you know, with the Mercedes emblem. So you're able to just drive along and look over at that hood. Nice, long, tall hood with a simple M111 engine inside, but I like the size of this hood. They don't do this these days. They don't give you this big hood to look over. Everything is tapered down now. And the other great thing about this, in addition to the length, is actually the fact that this car is so solid. Everything is solid metal. None of that plastic bumpers or fiberglass. They don't make them like this anymore. Alright, so number 4 on this list actually has to do with the inside of this vehicle. So let's open up the vehicle. You can see I've got my masks there. Such is the world we live in. But number 3 on this list is actually the interior. I like how timeless this interior is. I like that you can get into this vehicle 26 years later and still feel like, you know, this can be a new vehicle. There's nothing wrong with it. The interior is well done, especially the speedometer. You know, those classic Mercedes gauges, they just never get old. And this interior just screams elegance. You've got the wood grain, the real wood trim. You've got the, you know, the door panels. Look at that black on black. And you've got the solid build quality, super solid build quality. I mean, you see the thick Mercedes latches. The pink is actually some grease that I've put in. But very well sturdy build, and just a pleasure to get into this vehicle. Alright guys, number 5 on this list is actually the engine. I like a few things about this engine and it's worth mentioning. Number 1, the fact that it's a simple engine. You know, they used to put simple engines in these vehicles. It's a simple 4-cylinder engine putting out just over 100 horsepower. But I like the space. I like the fact that you got space to work on this vehicle, you know. There's no issue whatsoever. You can clearly see your brake system over there. You can clearly see the coolant reservoir, the air filters, the ABS system, the wiper fluid reservoir. Your engine is right here. Your oil filler cap, your fan belt is over there, and everything is pretty accessible. You can even see the alternator from here. And you know, they used to make these engines much more simple than they are in today's age, and this is one aspect that I love. So let me turn on this vehicle for you. And you can see that even after 25 years, this engine is running smoothly. I've checked all the parameters every once in a while. I, of course, in the mornings, check the oil, check the coolant level, just make sure all my fluids are okay, nothing is leaking. But look how smooth that engine is running. Check that out. Again, I mentioned on that interior, I mean, I'm just going to show you this again. Just really nicely done wood grain, and I also like the simplicity. I mean, I must mention it's not part of the 5 items that I mentioned, but I love the simplicity in how this was built. To take out this wooden panel, to access the AC working unit behind this, you've just got 2 simple bolts right under here. You can open those up. This you can open up very easily. And of course, you've got this big Mercedes steering wheel, very nicely done with the 3-pointed star, the classic Mercedes speedometer. I mean, I'll give you a little rev over here. So I love the simplicity, and I love those gauges and the way you can just work on this vehicle. You know, I replaced this leather gator you saw in the other episode, got this nice gear stick, but you've got simplistic nature of build here, and it's unbelievable. It allows you to work on your own car, and this car has taught me a lot, and so I do appreciate this W202 for what it is. And that's that view I was talking about, looking over on the hood. You got a long hood, just like in, you know, some of the classic cars. You don't see so many long hoods in today's day, but this Benz has got all the length. It's got great dimensions, and you can see the 3-pointed star. Look at that shine. And that's just one of the pleasures of driving a Mercedes. Here are a few driving impressions, so that you can see how it is to actually drive the 202. there you have it, guys. So let me just turn this off. Another episode of the Benz Revival series. A bit of a quick episode today, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's been Masai Gaines checking out.